but it again just tells the story of it's the evil and the ugliness of people's hearts these days is everywhere.
This is Franky Rose's Think Tank. Here's your host, Franky Rose.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Think Tank. So we're going to talk a little bit about Rex Heuermann. He is back in court on Tuesday, and they're saying he is expected to be charged for the passing of Maureen Barnes. So she was the fourth out of there was four of them that were found at one time in very close proximity. He's been charged with the first three. So I think they were waiting for DNA to get us where we are today. So we're going to take a look at a couple things. I'm also curious what you guys think about spouses being included in the Son of Sam law. So the Son of Sam law prevents criminals from making money off their crimes. Do you think that the spouses of these criminals should be able to make money off these crimes? So it's Asa, Rex's wife, that is making me wonder this. Peacock paid her $1 million for her information for their documentary. So being that there's been no trial, we don't know if she's got any culpability. Do you think she should have been able to make that $1 million? So we'll go over that as well. So we're going to start with Gilgo Beach. The leader expected to be charged with a fourth, which is, as we were talking about, Maureen Barnes. So let's take a boo, friends. There we go.
Now to new details in the Gilgo Beach murders. Police are still scouring the Long Island home of Rex Heuermann, now charged with killing 3 women, and he's also the prime suspect in the death of another. Police say the 59-year-old architect and father of 2 was hiding in plain sight for more than a decade. Here's ABC's Rena Roy.
Tonight, chilling new details about the alleged Long Island serial killer, who authorities say was living a double life for more than a decade.
You think on this quiet suburban street on this block.
What really blows me away with Rex Heuermann is how spooky he actually looks right now while we're seeing this video versus that friendly guy look that he had when he was giving that architectural documentary. He looked like Mr. Happy, Mr. Harmless.
There's a killer amongst this community.
59-year-old Rex Heuermann accused of killing 3 women who police say he secretly solicited for sex, and he's suspected in the murder of a 4th.
This is clearly a sick and depraved human being. Somebody who is taunting victims.
During a desperate 13-year manhunt, police say the father of 2, an architect, was hiding in plain sight.
It's just crazy to hear now.
I'm gonna go back there.
Manhunt, police.
So look at him there. Look at how harmless he actually looks. When you think about that, if he's approaching people with this look and then turning into the other guy, that's scary-ish.
Say the father of 2, an architect, was hiding in plain sight.
It's just crazy to hear now. It's just crazy that all our life he was right there.
Crime scene detectives meticulously searching Heuermann's Long Island home since his arrest Thursday, spotted pulling out garbage bags and a filing cabinet. Sources telling ABC investigators are hoping to find evidence from his alleged killing to the 6 other unsolved murders in the same general area.
We're going to see if he's involved with the other deaths, and if not, then we'll continue to go after those that committed these crimes and hold them accountable.
Dominique Vidal says she was in a networking group with Heuermann when the topic of podcasts and true crime came up.
And he asked me if I had a favorite case. And then he asked me if I knew about the Gilgo beach murders.
Vidal says Heuermann left her a voicemail in February, sharing the recording with our station WABC.
Hey, this is Rex.
Authorities say Heuermann's alleged use of burner phones, his Google searches about the case, and DNA lifted from this pizza crust helped tie him to the murders. Heuermann's attorney, who entered a not guilty plea on his behalf, said his client denies all wrongdoing.
Of course, an arrest in this case has been years in the making. Rena Roy joins us now. Rena, investigators have removed multiple guns from Heuermann's.
So we do know that they did take multiple weapons from that house. And now, where are we here? January? Yeah. Alleged serial deleter Rex Heuermann returns to court next week on Long Island, where he is expected to be charged in the death of a fourth woman whose remains were found in a marshy spot near Gilgo Beach. Multiple sources told ABC Heuermann, who is 60, is already charged with deleting 3 women who were found wrapped in burlap in close proximity, and prosecutors have said that he is the prime suspect in the passing of the 4th Maureen Barnes. Heuermann has pled guilty to not deleting Megan Waterman, Melissa Bartholomew, and Amber Costello, all of who were found unalive in December 2010. He is being held without bail. Doesn't even look like the same person, does he? That's a scary face here. He's due back in court in Riverhead Tuesday, when prosecutors are expected to announce that a grand jury has returned an indictment charging him with a 4th deleting. Maureen Barnes was found wrapped with a belt with a distinctive buckle bearing the initials WH, which could stand for Heuermann's father. I actually thought it was the grandfather, but it could be the father, who is William Heuermann. There was no immediate comment from the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office, which is handling the prosecution of Heuermann. The suspect is an architect who investigators linked to the women, all workers, through DNA evidence, including a sample taken for pizza crust in the trash outside his Manhattan office. There are 6 other Gilgo Beach victims whose passings remain unsolved. So I don't know. Yeah. Well, hello, American. How you doing, friend? Grand jury means longer to take him to trial. Yeah, there's still all of those other women. There's an infant. There's actually a male who they said was dressed as a woman, and there's a toddler. So it is, let me guess, next year or 2 or 3 years from now. And I mean, hey, Melissa, that's the thing, right? That is the thing. Okay, Heuermann faces potential new charges as he is recalled to court amid grand jury probe into the 4th victim, whose remains were found with the others. Okay, let's see here. He was officially named by police as the suspect in the deleting of the 4th woman, Maureen Barnes, who was found along with 3 other victims back in December of 2010. Well, it's not been confirmed why the disgraced architect is facing a new court date. Prosecutors had previously stated a special grand jury was only being asked to consider an indictment into the passing of Brainard Barnes, who was 25. Rex Heuermann is slated to appear at the Suffolk County Supreme Court before Justice Tim Mazes on Tuesday morning. So I'm going to end up, I'm sure, having to do an update unless there is a storm and the Jennifer Dulos case doesn't happen. So this is Maureen Barnes here, just a beautiful, beautiful young lady. Okay, so let's see here. We will take a look on the map, but this gives us an idea. So he's over here. This is where their house is. And then directly across, I guess he did have a boat, but I'm not sure how that would have happened. So right now, Amber Costello, Melissa Bartholomew, and Megan Waterman, he is up. He's got those 3 charges. We're hoping for Maureen on Tuesday, but that still leaves John Doe, Valerie Mack, Peaches daughter, Jessica Taylor, Karen Brigada. There's still a lot of justice to be had. So the married father of 2 had been due to return to court in February. Let me see if that date is still going to stand. I'll keep track of that. For a conference on the original 6-count indictment. His return to court prematurely has fueled speculation prosecutors could be about to charge him with further separate charges. Heuermann has been held without bail since his arrest for the deleting of Megan Waterman, who was 22, Melissa Bartholomew, who was 24, and Amber Lynn Costello, who was 27. All 4 women were found among 11 bodies that were found on this stretch. So as we know, that is close. We just looked here to Heuermann's home. But again, we're going to take a look at the map because you know what? There's a few things that I still have questions about. All of the victims worked as escorts who advertised themselves on Craigslist. Their remains were found on a stretch of beach, wrapped in camouflage burlap and bound with belts or red tape. Heuermann was linked to the deletings by DNA on the burlap used to transport the bodies, which was compared to samples taken from that pizza crust and a napkin that was discarded outside his Manhattan architectural firm. The first victim, 24-year-old Melissa Bartholomew, was discovered by Suffolk County Police on December 11th. Megan Waterman, 22 from Maine, was found 2 days later. Heuermann is charged with Amber Costello, and we are hoping for charges on Tuesday for Maureen Barnes. Yeah, the crusty Cheerio, busted by a pizza box, piece of pizza. Prior to DNA testing, cops were alerted to Heuermann as a potential suspect after a witness linked Heuermann's Chevrolet Avalanche to Costello's deleting. The car was then tied to Heuermann's cell phone records, which allegedly tied him to locations related to the deletings. The indictment stated that Heuermann had used different burner phones to contact each victim. Cops also accused Heuermann of using Bartholomew's phone to make taunting phone calls to her family from the comfort of his office. Technology's grand, you guys. This is what's busting his butt. In October, it was revealed that Heuermann is being probed over the slaying of 2 additional workers. Suffolk Police Commissioner Rodney K. Harrison confirmed that he had assigned additional investigators to help with the case of 2 other women, Valerie Mack and Karen Brigada. At the suspected time of the deletings, Heuermann's now ex-wife, I don't think they're divorced, they're going through the process. Asa Allerup was away from home. She filed for divorce less than a week after her husband's arrest. The couple have 2 children, daughter Victoria, 26, who worked at her father's firm, and son Christopher Sheridan, 33. So, Allerup sparked controversy after it emerged that she accepted a $1 million documentary deal with Peacock, which would involve crews filming at her husband's trial. I don't know, guys. What do you think about that ish? Valerie Mack and Karen Brigada. Quite the dump for an architect. The deal was slammed by the body of the Gilgo Beach victims as evil, with relatives claiming it will re-victimize and re-traumatize them. The family's Massapequa Park home, they say, was ransacked by police during a search of the officers as officers dismantled the greenhouse, shred up the couch, according to Ellerip. Well, you don't know where this monster's been keeping everything. We have no idea. Unreal. Howdy, gang. Good to see you. By the time they take Brian Koberger to trial, he'll be in his 40s. Only makes sense that whoever was responsible for the others would be reasonable for her if they were all in the same location. And yeah, literally, they're all along Gilgo Beach or the Island Parkway. Howdy, gang. It's hard not to be impatient. Yeah, Melissa, wasn't that mortifying listening to that girl's just terrified? 20 more days. We'll have to see how the other cases are going. Hopefully, I'll be able to do some streaming on that, but we'll have to see. That's why you own a dog, to feed it pizza crust and eat the evidence. Oh my word. Let me see. Can I find a better spot for me on here for you guys? No, it's not better, is it? There it is. Okay, so in September, Heuermann fought to stop at least 50 illegal weapons from being turned over to investigators. The stash included at least 26 unregistered handguns, 15 unregistered assaults, and 10 high-capacity magazines that appear to have been possessed. He's possessed, not his weapons. Good God, man. And yeah, for whatever reason, they did have that man on an S watch for a while there. I mean, I know why, but Jesus, Lord Murphy. So multiple sources confirm that 60-year-old Rex Heuermann is scheduled to appear in Suffolk County Court on Tuesday. Let's make sure. I thought maybe there was something new in here, but maybe I've already been through there. Court documents read, a hair found on burlap that wrapped one of the victims was determined to be a DNA match to Heuermann, and that's where the pizza box and his discarded crust came in. The bodies of at least 10 victims were found in the area beginning in late 2010, and all believed to be the victims of a serial Cheerio. So with that said, guys, I still have questions about Pickle Park. Like, I really do. What is going on with Burke and basically shutting down this investigation back when? I still find that very suspicious. So investigators have been searching for Shannon Gilbert when they found other remains on Gilgo Beach back in December 2010. Women in their 20s who remains had been wrapped in burlap sacks known as the Gilgo 4, and that's this group of 4 that we're talking about. They were later identified as Maureen Barnes, who went missing in 2007, Bartholomew missing in 2009, Megan Waterman and Amber Costello both went missing in 2010. And then there's still at least 6 more sets of remains. So, I mean, let's get the trials going. I'd have to say that I was looking at burlap bags at Home Depot, but never bought one. Easy peasy. This is the thing. I think probably the biggest thing is they were located like pretty much side by side. Pretty much side by side. So let's hope that the 6th, or sorry, that on Tuesday that they are able to charge him with the 4th. And hopefully we can get back and look at the other victims as well, because to have them all dumped on that one stretch is highly suspect. But then again, we have the Burke factor. So lawmakers look to expand the Son of Sam law to cover spouses in wake of the Gilgo Beach case. The law keeps convicts from making money off of book and movie deals. Come on.
Something's coming.
I don't think they should be making any money off of this. I don't, either or. I'm sorry for her predicament. I really, really am. No one should make money off of this. Unless they want to donate it.
The Gilgo Beach serial killer case. Law enforcement telling ABC News that a cheek swab sample taken from murder suspect Rex Heuermann's wife matches DNA found on the victims. And Aaron Katersky has the latest on this story. Aaron, good morning to you.
Good morning, DeMarco. This is an important development for prosecutors as they decide whether to charge the alleged Gilgo Beach serial killer with additional murders.
This morning, law enforcement sources tell ABC News DNA found on the body of at least one of the women dumped near Gilgo Beach on Long Island matches DNA from the estranged wife of accused killer Rex Heuermann. Asa Ellerup seen walking into Heuermann's latest court appearance last month, followed by a documentary film crew. Investigators had taken a sample.
You see, that's the thing. She's going to court now with what? News crews? Come on, documentary people. Let's not and say we did.
Into Heuermann's latest court appearance last month, followed by a documentary film crew. Investigators had taken a sample from her cheek the day Heuermann was accused of killing 3 women he had solicited for sex. The sources said that sample matched genetic material found on burlap used to wrap the body of Megan Waterman. Prosecutors believe the DNA match strengthens the case against Heuermann. They have previously...
Does it, though? Does this mean that this either happened at home? Or does this mean that there's a possibility of Asa participating in this? The fact that her DNA is being found, I truly, truly believe, on top of the common sense factor as to why this shouldn't be done, but I don't see any good reason why she should be able to make any kind of money until she is 1000% eliminated. You got some people that say she was there and some people say she wasn't. And I think that needs to be cleared up. And like I say, I feel bad for her if she had nothing to do with this. They did turn their house upside down, but that's her husband's fault. That is not our fault. That is her husband's fault. That's not on us.
They cleared Ellerup of any wrongdoing, saying she was out of town when the killings occurred.
This is something different, but it actually adds to the evidence you have. It brings it back to that household in Massapequa Park, and that's what's important. It is unusual, and it doesn't come up every day.
Heuermann has pleaded not guilty to killing 3 women, Waterman, Amber Costello, and Melissa Bartholomew. Prosecutors say he's the prime suspect in the...
So what they're saying is out of those four, at this point, those four, she was probably out of town. They believe that she has nothing to do with those four. But let's not forget, there's six others. And if there's six others, there's more. My guess is he changed dumping areas.
Killing of a fourth, Maureen Barnes.
Investigators believe they are now close to a decision whether to charge Heuermann with the fourth murder, but as yet they've tied him to no other additional homicide cases, either on Long Island or elsewhere in the country. Eva?
Well, give it time. Two New York lawmakers are pushing to expand a law.
Anyone who abducts a child, you're probably twisted beyond untwisting.
Okay. Let's do this again. Two New York lawmakers are pushing to expand a law that prohibits convicts from profiting from their crime to also prevent spouses from profiting after the estranged. How come my tongue's not working? The estranged wife of the Gilgo Beach deleting suspect signed a deal with a production company. New York Son of Sam law, named after the 1970s New York serial deleter David Berkowitz, who was known as the Son of Sam, seeks to keep convicts from making money off of books and movie deals connected to their crimes. New York has had the law in its book since 1977, but the U.S. Supreme Court deemed it and similar laws unconstitutional in 1991. The state amended the law in 2001. Now, New York State Senator Kevin Thomas and New York State Assembly member Fred Thiel want to expand the law to cover spouses and other relatives of convicted criminals. Oh, she doesn't look happy. That face. That reminds me of that Grinch. Oh my word. Oh my God. With the alarming reality of media companies exploiting tragedy. Oh, give me 2 seconds here. And let's see here. So, with the alarming reality of media companies exploiting tragedy for profits, my hope is that victims are given the opportunity to receive the justice and compensation they deserve. New York has a long history of blocking people convicted of a crime from benefiting from their illegal activities. My legislation aims to take it a step further to ensure that media deals surrounding a crime are subject to the same transparency and accountability as the perpetrator themselves. No one should be profiting off of a crime. The proposed legislation is expected to come up for debate in the early 2024, sometime this year. Lawmakers' proposal comes as Asa Alaroth, the estranged wife of Gilgo Beach suspect Rex Heuermann, is under contract with a production company, according to her attorney. She attended Heuermann's most recent court appearance with a camera crew following her. Look at that. Look at that. What? And this is the first time she's gone. She wasn't there for any of the other ones, but for $1 million, you guess she'll do all sorts of crap. Aller filed for divorce 6 days after Heuermann was arrested in July for the deleting of the 3 workers. Heuermann is also accused of deleting Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello, whose bodies were found on Long Island back in 2010. Of course, he has pled not guilty. Of course he has. Heuermann is also the prime suspect in the passing of a 4th woman, Maureen Barnes, who vanished in 2007. Though he has not been charged on that case, prosecutors said the investigation into Brainerd Barn is ongoing. And we are truly hoping for some information on that, aren't we? Fingers crossed for Tuesday. Yeah, at this moment, Tony, she's signed up for $1 million. $1 million. She's filed for divorce, but still showing up at court. Says everything I need to know about her. Barf. Yeah. Unfortunately, people do benefit from crime, whether it be monetarily, scientifically, medically, etc. Well, that's a true statement. Yeah, that's a true statement. So we are going to try and let's see here. Let's do math. All righty, here we are. So let's see here. Can I move that any bigger for you? Just back to this. No. Okay, so what we have here, let's get a little bit closer. Now we have the Long Island Parkway, which is a stretch that takes us from one side of Long Island to the other. So I think what we'll do is we're going to go to, let's see here. I want Rex. Okay, what we'll do is we're going to first start on Long Island Parkway. So the area we're going to is where they're saying these gals were found. So, oh, look at that. Isn't that interesting? Right here, Ocean Parkway. And in this Drury area, this long stretch, is where they started finding remains. So the four of them were all found in burlap, right basically over top of this foliage here. They were all fairly close to one another, and they were all in burlap. Straighten this out. Straighten out. Yes, reset to not. Okay. So Island Parkway, Ocean Parkway. So we have the four of them right in here. They were so close together that it was almost undeniable that they would not be victims of the same person. And straight across, we have Rex's house, basically straight across from where these bodies are. You could look out his window almost, or go to one of the docks and pretty much see his handiwork. So we've also got along Ocean Parkway, we've got the unknown male that was found a little bit separate. He was actually fairly close to, at one point I thought, maybe I'm mistaken, Peach's baby. So we've got Jessica Taylor, Ocean Parkway, both Valerie Mack and the toddler were found a little further up. So this is literally I mean, it's a dreary, dreary stretch. It's not heavily trafficked, especially through the the winter months. There's a couple little villages here, but there's just not a lot. Now, in the summer, people will hit up some of the beaches, but not on the side where these girls were found. So that also brings us to the possibility of there being more victims in a different spot. Look at them all. So close to Rex's house. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer to Rex. Heuermann's home. I offshot it. So the thing about this is we'll get back up there. No, I'm trying to get to that damn house. His house. So in this area, there we are. How's that for a Fifth Avenue Manhattan architect's home? I just want to make sure, you guys, that we're not freezing up here because it tends to give me grief every once in a while. You guys still there? So were you guys able to see any of that? I froze up. I'm almost afraid to try that again, but I'm gonna close a couple things. We'll close that. And I'll close that. Okay, I'm gonna try this again because tell me if there's any more issues. I'm gonna try this again, guys. Okay, go to Heuermann's house. Okay. Okay, you guys, I don't know if it's the weather, I'm not going to say, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to. Let me try this again. Move. Okay, let's see. So what I'm very interested in is, I'll go back down here, is there is a park that we've looked at quite a few times, and that's right here. That is just a couple blocks from Rex's house. And as far as I've heard, there has not been a search or anything along those lines done here. And Rex has lived in the same house since he was a kid. How are we doing? Oh, I'll just stop that. Okay. So there's a few different ways to get into this park. So a person easily can back up and go in that way. And there is absolutely many ways that you can. There's actually one main roadway that goes all the way through. And this is all backing into that park. We'll get there. Literally, this area is like 2 blocks from his house, maybe 3 tops. It's been a while since I've actually counted it out, like done the whole trip. Come on. Okay, so let me just see. This is all down that same road. So there is accesses in along this as well. How are we doing, guys? Yeah. So I guess maybe what we'll do is we'll look from here first. This road here takes you straight across. And I think it's called Massapequa Park, actually. And this all goes into the park. Now, I just want to get us in. I want to give you guys an idea. So we have to remember that, like I said, he's been in this area since he was a kid. He would know this park upside down, around, and back again. Okay, is this where we started? Okay, so we've got that entrance that you can back into. But there are areas that you can get in here, like there's vehicle access. don't think there. No. It just, to me, it makes sense that they would go in here and, I don't know, take dogs. I don't know exactly what they would use, but I just think they really, really need to be searching this area. This guy didn't go out, find himself a spot, and then just quit. He didn't quit. They never quit. Well, not usually, anyways. And Asa wasn't, I mean, he wasn't stopping during or due to, I guess, that relationship. He just waited for her to be gone. Or did he? So many questions. Taken me a second longer than I expected, but we'll get there. La da da da. So I seen you guys talking about Sarah Boone a little bit earlier. So she's got her pre-trial on the 16th. And if everything continues, she'll have that trial. Her actual trial will be the 26th. Okay, it's not going to let us get in there. I'm sure it'll be interesting just due to the fact that it's that whack job. We're just walking around Massapequa Park right now, just checking things out, I guess. Okay, it's not going to let us in. Wow. See, there's a whole pile of ways to get in, but there is ways for the vehicles to get in as well. And that's what we're looking for. I mean, this place is huge. Okay, is this going to be one of them? Let's hope. Okay, there we are. Took us a minute, but we got there. Okay, so a person could very, very easily get back here and do what they need to do. Like, look at this. I don't know. Let's see here. A person could have backed up and done whatever the heck they want back there, especially in the middle of the night. So very secluded. And that's just one of a couple of these places that you can get into Massapequa Park. Now, it just makes sense to me that they would need to check this out. It makes sense to me. Okay, so there is another way in here. This is going to be it. Nope, another dead end. But with that said, look where we are. Check that out. How hard would that be? In my mind, not very. And again, this place is huge. Look at the size of that area. Check it out. It's massive. There's a couple ponds. There is a creek that goes through. And literally just a couple blocks from the Heuermann house. Why that preserve has not been checked, I really don't know. There is a ton of green space. So you go from there, where we know Rex is, right there. Look at this, straight across, straight shoot. So let me see here. Let's do this. Okay, so we got Oak Beach. Now, if you remember Dr. Hackett, this is the area where Shannon Gilbert went missing. Let's see here. Oh, they're not letting us in there. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so we have Dr. Hackett. We have, this is where Shannon Gilbert had that appointment that night. And there's Hackett's place right there. And Shannon was found in here somewhere, not far from his house. The video of her screaming and saying that she was in danger, that is running through this little village. So all in all, it's a very suspicious spot. They, as far as I know, I don't know of them doing more searches. That stretch, look at that, just blows me away. One little stretch. Karen Vergata was on Fire Island, part of her, and then another part over here. So again, that's got to be somebody that is in the know. What do you guys think? Yep, Dr. Defibrillator. Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry. Taylor's your business. What was that? Oh, I bet you're right, Tony. I have very little doubt that they watch these to see what's up. Yeah, you're right along with me. There is a lot of open area at Massapequa Park, and it is so close. You have to think, like when I was a kid, I was out there building forts and all of that type of thing. They can't be any different than what us kids. Yeah, lots of places that can be accessible by boats. So for now, guys, that's the update that we have as far as Heuermann goes. Let's hope that Tuesday brings some more charges. And I really hope that they're able to connect him if he indeed was the bad guy that got the rest of these guys, or even if it was Burke. I mean, they really, or Dr. Defib. These cases need to be solved any which way. So let's hope that Tuesday is, more charges coming for this dickwad. So with that said, guys, I appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you ever so much. I'm going to call it, and I will absolutely see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.